Anthony.
Good evening, Dave. How are you today?
Not too bad, mate. A little bit more tired than you, I would say.
I would say so. You did 70 box jumps today, didn't you?
Since I did the 5 o'clock workout, and you were dropping family off at the airport.
I was dropping family off at the airport. So tell me, was it 50 thrusters and 70?
You missed out on 30 pull-ups, 50 thrusters, dumbbell thrusters, and 70 box jumps.
Ooh, 70 box jumps. That would have been the killer, I guess.
And the time cap was set at 15 minutes, but I got through that in 6 minutes, 10 seconds.
6 minutes, 10 seconds?
So I was pretty happy with that.
Goodness.
Yep. Admittedly, the thrusters were light thrusters. They weren't your standard Fran weight thrusters or 22 and a halves. They were only 10 kilogram dumbbells. But that was the RX weight. So
that's pretty easy for you, 10. Considering
the stimulus was to go unbroken for the every piece. So unbroken pull-ups, unbroken thrusters, and just a good pace on the box jumps. So,
well, we'll have to see. Kieran's out there now doing the workout, so it'll be good to see what he's going to be.
Hang on, let me have a look. I just look out my window. Yep. He's dying. He's dying.
So he's finished already, or he's dying halfway through.
He's still going.
Okay.
Anyway, well, you'll have to make up for that on the weekend.
I will. I'll make it up. So, but I got here for the podcast. I dropped her off, kicked her out of the car, said see you later, and then away we go. So we've got a great guest on tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's from your missus,
from Svetlana,
the networking
connections.
from Svetlana. Yeah. All right. So, well, I'm super excited. As usual, it's another CrossFit Games athlete. Another CrossFit Games. Who have we had? We've had Cara. We've had Georgia.
We've had Will.
We've had Will.
Bill Leahy.
And now we have Tom
Du Preez.
Du Preez. Is that how we say it? Tom Du Preez?
Yeah, that's all good.
Not Du Preez, because I know Du Preez is another version of that.
Yeah, no, Du Preez is fine.
South African.
First question: are you South African or Australian?
No, mate, I'm Australian. I was born in South Africa, but
awesome. That's good. Good start. Nice start.
Been an Aussie for a long time now.
Excellent.
Yep.
Welcome to the podcast, Tom.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
The CrossFit Affiliate Members Podcast, the camp. The only, I don't know if it's only, I think it probably is the only long form CrossFit podcast based out of Australia.
Yeah, let's go with that, Dave. Let's go with that.
Yeah. We've got to keep up with those Americans and Europeans, and talk to our own superstars. I'd certainly be classifying you as a superstar, Tom.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, let's bring on our little promo video so that we can see why we think Tom is a superstar. So I'll just add this to the stage. Tom, I don't know whether you've even seen this, but let's add it to the stage and give it a bit of a run.
Than you think. You are stronger than you think. I know today you are unraveling, but you are stronger than you think. There's an answer up ahead. There's an answer up ahead. It may not
Whoa.
Wow.
It gets the adrenaline pumping. Just watching you training there, Tom. Congratulations on your achievements, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Tell
much.
us a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your CrossFit history, and then we'll go into a little bit deeper about your other life achievements.
Yeah. So I sort of experimented with CrossFit probably about 15 years ago for maybe a year or 2 years, and then I had a pre-existing shoulder issue going into it, and I had to have reconstructive shoulder surgery. And then didn't touch it. And truth be told, I probably didn't have the respect, I guess, for the sport / movements when I started off. I was a bit young and immature, and thought I could muscle everything, if that makes sense. I had the subtlety of a flying brick, is how my friends would have described it.
Right.
Anyways,
So you're a strong athlete, right? You were thinking, I'll just use my strength to get.
I'll just use my strength to get through these things. Yes, and then had a hiatus probably for about 13 odd years. Then we had this little thing called COVID, and as that sort of started to come to an end, I said to my wife, well, I think we probably should start to get moving again. And I walked into CrossFit Noosa up on the Sunshine Coast. Basically just had a quick look around. I walked upstairs and I signed us both up, to her shock and dismay. And that was 3 years ago. Well, 3 years ago, leading into 4 years. Yeah.
So you had been a member of a CrossFit box prior to CrossFit Noosa, or?
Yeah, I was a member of a small box in Brisbane for about 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
But yeah, leading into that, it was mainly old school, weight training and a bit of athletics as a kid growing up.
Just strength and conditioning training in the gym.
Strength and conditioning, that's it, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And where was that box in Brisbane that you trained?
It used to be called CrossFit Resolve. It was in Newstead. But yeah, they've unfortunately closed about 18 months ago, or 12 months ago now. Right. Yeah.
Yep. And then it was injuries and shoulder issues that sort of took you away from training for quite a few years.
It did, yes. I think when I pulled it apart, I decided to, for the first time in my life, not try to muscle through things, but just slow things down and really focus on rehabilitation. And whilst a lot of people were saying, you should be back up and running in about 6 months, I decided to go 12 months, slow rehab, get the mobility as good as I can get it. And that's probably one of the best decisions I made, to be honest, because it's actually feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's moving quite okay, so that's all right.
And then you've been doing CrossFit training at Noosa, or CrossFit Noosa, non-stop for about 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, for about 4 years, and it was a bit of a funny story in the sense that we just thought we'd do it socially, and they worked out that there was a category for visually impaired athletes in the CrossFit Open 6 months after we joined the box. And they felt it necessary to get me signed up for that. So I had a bit of a crack, and I remember that after the first workout, I walked into the gym and the coach said, you actually went quite okay. And I said, what's okay? He said, you're sitting 5th. And I went, that's good. 5th in Australia, it's not bad. He's like, no, mate, you're sitting 5th in the world.
5th in the world, that's so good.
Oh, that's a problem. And then all of a sudden, this thing that was not a thing was supposed to sort of become a thing then. And it is funny in the sense that in my first Open, during the Open, I had to learn how to snatch. Because one of the workouts had snatches in it, and I had not actually done any snatches up at that point. So, it all started happening very fast after that.
Wow. Okay. And then
so was that at the RX weights, though, Tom?
RX for our vision category, yes. And
right.
So the workout we had to do, fortunately, was not very heavy for the Open, but it was high volume. And I basically walked in the morning before. We had about half an hour to 40 minutes to work out how to do a snatch. And then I had to have a crack at that.
Amazing.
And you finished 5th in the world.
That was, so for the Open at that point, that was where we were. And so since then, the focus has just been on having a good go and just trying to get better every year, because the sport is amazing. It's like golf. You can't really say that you master anything. There's always things you can work on, and that's what I love about it.
Very humbling sport, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So in a nutshell, how many times have you been to the CrossFit Games for adaptive athletes?
I went, so this year was my third year. The first year, the only sort of face-to-face international competition for visually impaired athletes was the Wheelwad Games. That was the biggest one. So I competed there in 2023. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina. Then managed to qualify for the CrossFit Adaptive CrossFit Games in San Antonio, Texas last year. And this year I qualified again, and we were competing in Vegas. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Wow, that is excellent.
Spectacular.
So how do you go in the games then? Like, so obviously you're probably leading from the Oceania perspective. Like, what are the rest of the caliber of athletes like?
They are very, very good. The first year I was lucky enough, I actually won the Wheelwad Games in 2023. Last year I was 8th, and the guys were all amazing. And this year I got on the podium again. I came 3rd.
Wow, best ever. Wow.
And I'm quite.
You won the Wheelwad, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm the old guy in the field.
Yeah. So, is it still age? Divided as well, or is it just your category?
Yeah, so the vision category is everybody. I think last year we worked out I was older than the youngest guy's dad, which was an eye-opener.
And where did he come? Because was he in front of you, or?
Yeah, he was phenomenal. He ended up, I think, placing 5th or 6th from Canada. Just again, amazing guy, and amazing group of guys as well. We've really made some friends for life through the CrossFit Games and all the adaptive CrossFit Games, and we still talk frequently using social media and that sort of stuff.
So what does training look like for you, Tom? Like, I mean, do you just work on the workout of the day with the affiliate, or do you do a lot more than that?
I do a bit more than that, and I guess the main reason I do that is I don't want to embarrass myself with these young chaps. So I do extras. So typically Mondays and Wednesdays are my slow days. I'll do old school weightlifting sort of movements. And when I say old school, I mean things like lat pull downs, seated cable pulley rowing, just, core sort of strength. And, Wednesdays is usually a leg day. So this morning was hack squats, leg press, things like hamstring curls, real basic things. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is usually what I call my CrossFit days, where I will get to the box. I get in a bit early because it takes me about 25 minutes just to warm up my shoulders. I spend about 10 minutes on the bike, do the class, and then I would usually stay on for another hour to hour and a half and do extras. So Thursdays through to Sundays usually are on average 2.5 to 3 hour days, and typically bright and early in the morning.
Nice.
So you're an early morning trainer. You do that before a normal day's work?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Thursday. What's happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Mondays is usually walk 4 kilometers, lift some weights for an hour. Tuesdays is my rest day, and Wednesday, same thing, walk 4 kilometers and old school, just lift some weights. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. All right. So you've really you've embraced the sort of activity of being a professional almost athlete. You're training to get to the games again. That's your standard goal now. Most years.
Most years, that's the goal. I think long and hard about 2026 because 25 has been a long year so far. But that's the aim of the game, is to try and stay in that top 10 to give myself a shot to have a crack.
Yeah.
And so, do you train alone, or do you have a coach, or how does that work?
I'd say probably first 2 years, I had a coach that I was working with on and off. He still does my programming for me, which is handy. But the last 12 months, I've effectively just stuck to the programming and then trained myself. Yeah,
trained yourself. So do you train with your wife, or is she
she comes along and usually does the class, and then she'll patiently wait for me as I work through the rest of it.
Oh, so it's not like my wife. We have to go in separate cars because she won't wait. I have to go in my car and she'll drive off, and I'll see you back home in an hour or two.
I can't drive, so I don't have that luxury, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not a
Well,
she.
let's talk about the what the adaptive component of your CrossFit career is. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm legally blind. I use a white cane to get around, and it's linked to a genetic eye disorder I've got called choroideremia, which is degenerative. As I sit here today, I've got less than 5 degrees peripheral vision in both eyes. I've got no depth perception, no central vision in my right eye. So I basically look through a little pinhole out of my left eye, and I've got 0 night vision. So it's a bit more of a mission these days to get around than it was, say, 20 years ago. But I take what I've got and I do the best that I can, to be honest, and
so
provide some comic relief along the way.
Have you been able to see perfectly at all, Tom, before? Or
when I was probably my early teens, my eyesight was quite okay. It would have had basically 20/20 vision, but from my late teens, it slowly but surely started to go backwards. And then it really starts to bite. Well, for me, it was in my 30s because that's when I gave up driving. And then, it just slowly but surely continues to deteriorate. So it's interesting scientifically.
So this is the only medical CrossFit podcast in the world as well. So you've got a condition, if I gather, correct me if I'm wrong, it's called choroideremia.
That's right.
And it's a X-linked genetic disease, right? So,
correct. Yep.
Typically, only males can really express it in a way that's significantly disabling. Females can be the carriers, but it doesn't seem to express as significantly in a female because they don't have.
Correct.
They can, but they're not. They have their double X chromosome, right?
Yeah.
Because males, the XY chromosome, it expresses more in males. And so you became aware of it in your teens, did you?
Yeah. When you've walking into swimming pools and obstacles that you didn't realize was there, or falling down a hole in a construction site will do it for you.
Wow.
So that was an eye-opener. Yeah.
Are you the first person in your family to have it? Like, did your father have it, or?
No. So it's interesting. When we discovered it, we worked out that my mother was the carrier, and she wasn't even aware of it because nobody in her family is actually presented with it historically. Right. And then, I've got the gene. With 3 boys, I've got the gene. My middle brother's got the gene. The youngest one does not have it.
Wow. In your brothers, your siblings.
Yes. Siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And
so they're not expressing it. They're not expressing that.
One of them is, the other one is not. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And what about you've got children as well? Like,
No, I've got 2 cats, so we save the planet from passing the gene on to anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And that's kind of what the back of your eye looks like. Hey, that's like, this is the condition. Yep. The choroid is the layer of the eyeball that's very vascular. It's got all the blood vessels in it, right? And this is a degenerative condition where those blood vessels kind of break down, and then the retina itself loses blood supply, and then becomes the receptors that allow you to see things. The photoreceptors then deteriorate, and then you slowly lose your vision. Geez, how did that affect you, Tom, in terms of getting on with your life? You're an accountant. You're obviously an athlete, and one of the most fantastic things I heard you say was that having a disability doesn't mean you are disabled.
No.
Which is just so inspiring. Probably a lot of people could sort of repeat that to themselves and do well from taking that bit of information. Did CrossFit give you that mentality, or did you always have that mentality growing up with this condition?
I think probably grew up with the mentality. We were raised to be tough, resilient kids. So that helped a hell of a lot. But part of the reason I also started to do CrossFit again was to actually help me with things like spatial awareness. And because I knew I was at a higher risk of stumbling, falling, rolling, and all that sort of stuff, just to make sure I've got that extra bit of agility, strength, etc., to sort of handle some of those knocks. And then, look, the other thing that I can't underscore is the community that we've sort of linked into is just absolutely amazing. Wonderful crew we've got up at CrossFit Noosa. But even more broadly, the adaptive CrossFit community that we started to get involved with in 2023 are just phenomenal. They genuinely inspire me to just continue to do what I do, because some of those guys, have had some really interesting challenges in life, if that makes sense.
The people in the wheelchair and the likes of Brett. Did you meet Brett Ogar?
Kevin Ogar.
Kevin Ogar. Sorry.
Yeah. I know Kevin. Yeah.
He's quite a inspirational fellow as well.
He's a beast. Oh my goodness, he's amazing.
So how does, I'm so curious, Tom, how do you do movements where, I mean, for example, box jumps? I struggle with box jumps at the best of times. So if you can't see the box, how do you do that?
I touch it before I jump. So to get an idea of where the box is and what the height is, I would touch it. I mean, as a rule, I tend to avoid it. We usually would do step-ups instead of jumps. But if I need to, for example, if we have to do a burpee box jump or something, then I would do my burpee. I would touch the edge of the box, and that will give me an indication of where it's at. And then I know how far I have to go to launch it.
So you've done that. You just do that once. So once you've got that kind of...
Yeah, once you've got that nailed, you're okay. And the same applies to stuff like pull-ups, because usually you have to walk to the rig. So I'd have to feel where the edge of the rig is. I'd have to jump up to get an idea of how far away the bar is. Most of them are sort of standard sort of heights. But before every workout or before I compete or anything, we get the opportunity to just sort of walk through, feel around and get the feel for the lay of the land. And then, you just have a go.
And do you see that? But do you see does it kind of build a mental picture in your mind about you're oh, I've got to take 6 steps to get to here, or
yes.
How do you work your way around? Is that what happens? Or
that's what happens. And you learn other things, like when I'm on the rower, I know how many strokes it takes me to row 500 meters, for argument's sake, or it's 1 stroke per calorie. Or if I'm doing the ski, I know it's about 2 strokes per calorie. So I actually count backwards, if you like, to work my way through. Yeah.
So when a 500 meter row or something, you know exactly how many strokes it is that you're going to be doing.
Yep, I do.
I think that'd be handy for all of us athletes as well, because then we could kind of plan it a bit better accordingly. So does that mean you don't send it on certain workouts?
No. How do you... I like sending it. I'm a big fan of Deadpool, maximum effort all the way, Bell.
Yeah. That's why you're a CrossFit Games athlete and we're not. Because when we get tired, we go, no, don't worry about it.
It's horses for courses. Some of them you have to go hard, obviously, but some of it you have to pace yourself, because otherwise you will fry yourself before you get there.
And do you? I mean, I know your brothers like helped you a lot in like games. So in terms of like when you compete, do you always have someone there to kind of support you in that kind of thing? Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. I need somebody to assist me, to guide me between, let's call it stations or machines. So I think some of the photos you've got there, depending on the competition, my wife has helped me in the past, but she can't keep up with me when we're running. So we typically try to find someone that's got a little bit more speed in the legs to help with the running piece. Also, I'm a big chunky guy, so it's very difficult for her to sort of force or lead me around. I think there's a photo there with my brother and myself, and you could see he had me sort of by the arms there. Yeah, so that's him guiding me, because at the games, to level the playing field, we were all blindfolded, so you do everything.
I was going to ask that. Yeah, it was why they have you with wearing the mask.
Yeah,
So talk a little bit about how they classify the adaptive categories. That must be extremely challenging to try to keep it as even as possible for people.
Yeah, so unfortunately, unlike Olympic sports, we've got B1 and B2, for example, as classification. And CrossFit, there is just one category, and it's called vision. And to get into the vision category, you need to be able to demonstrate that you've got a visual disability. So the range is quite broad. We have in that top 10 last year, one of the guys was completely blind. His name's John O'Heenan. He's amazing. I was probably what I refer to as the second blindest guy, because I was the only other guy using, between myself and Nick, using visual aids. The rest of the guys was actually they were quite good. They could operate without any visual aid. So, and for some of them, it's, one bloke shot his one eye out with a nail gun. I think that would not have been very pleasant. So he's only got one eye, right? So, but some of the other guys have got, degenerative eye diseases and issues as well. And because there's a broad spectrum in age, you are going from people that are legally blind but actually still quite functional, visually speaking, to those that are completely blind. And in so 2024, we had a couple of the events at the games that were blindfolded, but for 25, they said no, blindfold everybody for all of the events.
Everyone. Okay. Yeah. So even the fellow who shot himself in the eye, who lost one eye, he would have then had to have the blindfold and be exactly like you guys. So the playing field is pretty much completely even then.
It's completely
in terms
even.
of your vision. Yeah.
In terms of vision, yes. Where it gets interesting though is somebody that's been blind for a while, their balance and other senses and stuff adopt, because you adapt at the end of the day. So that gives them a little bit of heads up. But if you know you're going to be blindfolded, then you prepare for it. So I did some of our classes blindfolded, and that was fun. So you prepare for it.
Did they make everyone else put the blindfold on as well? The whole 5 a.m. class doing it blindfolded. Guess who's going to win?
They don't. But we have had one or two workouts in the past where we would get the guys to just run with a blindfold and a guide, just to give them a feel of, like I said, this is what it feels like when Tom's doing the class. And it's been quite cool to see everybody else do it as well.
Well, the other day we were doing some double under drills, and one of the drills that we had to do was close our eyes and jump on the spot, and we had to we had to do it for like 30 seconds, and then we had to see where we were, and pretty much none of us were on the spot. None of us were on where we thought we were. We were like 1.5, 2 meters away. And it's just like, how I would have sworn to you that I was on the spot. So I can't imagine how it is that when you can't see those types of things. Like double unders is a classic one. How do you do double unders? Is there like a bell on the thing or something?
No. You do them like anybody else does. And the point that you've just made around you start at one point and you finish at the other point. I'm like a kid in the disco. I bounce around all over the place, and that's one of those things where I know I can get better at that. I shouldn't be bouncing around. You should just be going up and down in the same spot, because it's more efficient as well. So yeah, I need to work on that. But at the moment, I'm all over the place and I'm loving it. In fact, I think I whacked one of the other guy's handlers with my rope at the games. That was quite funny.
Oh, no.
He didn't see me coming.
I noticed, like, when we were watching in the Torian, we were watching the adaptive athletes, and they seemed to have it wasn't just the category of vision, it was like competing with anybody who had some kind of disability. So how did that kind of play out?
Yeah, so what they do is the programmer for the event, a lady called Sarah Bradley, who is amazing, would have made the necessary adjustments depending on what your classification was. So you can't get a neuro person to do the same stuff as a vision person, and the same with below knee and above knee. That they make adjustments to essentially, or they adapt the workouts to work for your disability at the end of the day. So that's how they've sort of done that, to try and level.
And do they then try and say, well, this would be the equivalent for this type of person that has this disability, so that you
broadly, that's I think what they try to do. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
So it's
you
almost
are
like
actually
a scaling process.
Yeah.
So you are actually competing against someone who has, say, maybe a below knee or an above knee amputation.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay. So it's not just all the visual athletes competing against each other. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's not enough vision athletes in Australia. So what they've historically done with me is they would put me up against the below knee guys.
Okay, I get it.
Sort of mix me in with somebody else, and then we just have a crack and see how we go.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow.
And how does that work? Like, how did you go, like, against like the other types of disabilities? Are they kind of?
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
I mean, like, I was watching the guy do pistols with one leg, and I was just like, well, this is just ridiculous. We can't do pistols with two legs, and he's doing it with one.
Have you tried him blindfolded?
Oh, there you go.
The whole balance. It's such a balance. It's such a balanced movement.
Have a go, mate.
I got to do one without a blindfold first, Tom. So that's what I got to work to. So
yeah.
And this photograph here, Tom, is how long ago was this photo with you? Is that your brother there?
Yes, it is actually. Oh, okay. I know exactly where that is. So in our preparation for Vegas this year, to get over the jet lag, we flew in via San Francisco and ended up spending 3 days just outside of Yosemite. And truth be told, my prep in that, let's call it 7 or 8 days leading up to the games, consisted mainly of hiking very poorly in Yosemite, and roughly 2 or 3 days before, I sort of just said to my brother, we probably should just try to do something to get our heart rate spiked a little bit. And we were staying in this Airbnb on a farm, which had pretty much nothing but chopped logs. So we worked out this little WOD with the logs. So we were squatting with logs, doing thrusters with logs, push-ups and burpees and all sorts of things just to get the heart rate moving. A bit of an AMRAP, if you like. And that's, I think, where that photo was taken.
Okay. I want to see the next photo. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's cool. So this is near the Yosemite.
That's near Yosemite. Yeah.
Wow. And so your brother looks pretty fit as well.
Yeah, he's quite the athlete. Did a fair bit of obstacle course racing at an international level, and he's done some of that high rock stuff, but he's also quite a competent CrossFitter.
Okay.
Oh, so he does do CrossFit.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So there's hope for him, Tom, is what we're hearing.
Oh, there's definitely hope for him. Yeah. We are constantly one-upping each other with whatever we do from a WOD perspective. Like, I've done this, go have a crack, and then he'll go have a crack. And
yeah, cool.
Healthy competitive sibling rivalry.
That's probably a secret to your performances. competing against your bro. And hey, what do we? You like the deadlift? I saw you pulling some pretty heavy deadlifts.
Yeah, I love deadlifts. I genuinely enjoy doing deadlifts.
214. 214. That's decent.
214. Yeah.
I like that. Holy mackerel.
That looked pretty smooth too. It looked like you had more in the tank.
There was a clean lift, but take the small gains when you get them. I wouldn't mind getting up to 220 at some point. Having 5 plates at the side, but maybe give me 12 months, I'll get there.
Yeah. And I see Sarah Jane Bradley. She used to be a member here.
Oh, right.
Yeah. She used to be a member here at CrossFit Neuro.
Well, brilliant, because she does the adaptive programming.
She does it all. Yeah. And I saw her very heavily involved at the Torian this year as well. Yep. Yeah. She's a lovely lady. You remember Sarah, don't you?
No, I don't think I was here then.
Quite colourful hair. Most times she'd change her hair most weeks. One day it'd be blue, then it'd be pink, then it'd be okay.
Very good athlete as well.
Yeah. Super fit. And how old are you, Tom? How old are you?
I'll be 48 in December.
Okay, nice. 48. Jeez, that's a good deadlift.
How would you actually be so interesting? Do you not get to do the open, the standard open? Because most movements in the first 3 or 4 workouts you'd be able to do. There'd be no real kind of issue. Have you done that and kind of seen where you actually sit?
I haven't actually had a look at where I would sit relative to the rest of the 47-year-olds. The masters athletes. Because usually they just chuck us in with the vision guys, and then that's how I've done it. But I should probably do that at some point to see how we go.
It'd be so interesting to see. Because what did you say before? You were doing 100-kilo cleans.
Yeah.
In a workout, or that's close to your max?
No, my 1 rep max for the clean is 105. But I can do all of the RX weights for whatever workouts they throw at us, generally speaking.
Yep. Yeah. How often do you just jump into the normal workout of the day at CrossFit Noosa? How often?
Every day, basically.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you will still do the.
I'll do the WOD.
The workout of the day with the crew, with all the people.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And do you need your brother, or does the coach or do the other members just go, okay, we've got to make sure Tom's okay with this, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we've got a really amazing community there. Whenever we do something with a run, somebody will run with me in the box because I know my way around. I'm quite familiar. I can find my way around, and people kind of know that this guy doesn't really know where he's going. So they actually rather politely just advise me that I'm about to trip over a bar, so I need to slow down.
Wow. So they just look out for you too. The whole community just.
Absolutely.
Geez, that is so fantastic. I just love that.
It is pretty cool. And I love I saw a video on your Instagram where essentially it said pick the person that is visually impaired, and for running styles, and there was 4 of you, and then you ran into a wall and fell over, and it's so I was like, it's so good that you can kind of just be light with this, man, because I imagine it's challenging, but it's it's tremendous to see the way you kind of deal with it.
It is challenging, but it's also fun, and it provides constant comic relief for myself and those around me. So make the most of it, because if you don't laugh about it, what else are you going to do, right?
So how is CrossFit so in terms of, I guess you're doing a fair bit of training. What does your diet look like? Do you do the standard? Do you follow a carb-centric diet? Do you follow a meat-centric diet? What does it look like?
No, I think I'd like to describe my diet as a balanced diet. So I do eat 6 times a day. I'm pretty structured around when I eat, and then I don't really count carbohydrates or anything, but I've got a rough idea of the macros I take in. So I basically try to eat when I'm hungry, and I eat I eat until I'm basically full, and then doing as much as I do allows me to be able to eat good, but I steer clear from processed food and those sort of things. We tend to eat very healthy at home.
Whole food. Do you go as far as like, counting calories and macros and that sort of stuff? Eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full.
That's it. I've got a rough idea of the protein that I take in every day, and that's just because I used to do that as a kid. But the rest of it is, I know I've got enough fuel in when I'm not hungry, and if I get hungry, then I know I need to eat more.
You're just making it really simple, right? So
keep it simple. I don't want to over-engineer it. Yeah.
And what about your recovery? What does your recovery look like?
Recovery for me usually is sort of 40 minutes on one of those bike erg things where you can just sit and spin your legs out. I'm not a massive fan of ice baths. They scare me. I've tried them, but I don't like them.
You'll have a good friend in Dave. Dave doesn't like ice baths either.
Anthony, actually, I did see a photo of you on the. I did see a photo of you on the.
There was
in the Instagram there.
There's a large Finnish gentleman, Johan Christian Grank, who told me I was a chicken and I should get into an ice bath. And this year I did the same thing. I think we had the truckload of double unders that we did, so felt like my calves was going to blow up. So I went and I sat with my legs in an ice bath just to get a bit of just to get it to cool down a bit. But you'll see that I'm not completely submerged, right? Certain vital parts of my anatomy is safe.
Yeah.
So what about saunas though? Do you do any of that sort of stuff as well?
No, I don't.
It's like, because you do a fair bit of training. I mean, like 2.5 hours most days is not a short amount. So
no, hot shower when I get home and I'm good to go.
You're good to go. Yeah. And ailments in your body, besides obviously, your impairment.
My right knee is not that great. So I've got a lack of cartilage in the right knee. So I get a bit of Synvisc injected roughly every 6 months, which is synthetic viscous fluid that just sort of coats the bone to make sure that I'm not bone on bone, so to speak. And then, I just need to be mindful with volume. I tore my right lat in the semifinals earlier this year, and that was just because I still think I'm 23, but I'm not. So I need to be wiser.
What injury? What movement was that? Was that in training or in a comp in the actual event?
Final event for the semifinals, which had bar muscle ups in it. There were ski erg and bar muscle ups. But I did all of the workouts in 2 days for the semis, and that was probably a bit stupid. So sometimes you need to pace yourself just a little bit better. So I think key takeaway for me this year is a bit more mindfulness. If something is tight, it means it needs to rest a bit. So don't hammer it. Because if you don't, that's when you get a tear.
As you get older, we just don't recover as quickly.
No.
From the volume. Is there a specific a training protocol that's sort of more designed for adaptive athletes? Do they?
They do specialized adaptive programming for sure. You can actually, there's a bunch of organizations that do adaptive programming, and there's coaches as well that will do that.
Right.
But I find
it's not just modifying a standard training program like Proven or HWPO and just sort of making it fit you guys. It's actually specific to adaptive athletes.
Correct. In stating that, though, I tend to not use the adaptive programming. I try to stick to just the normal programming and just have a crack, work out how I can make it work for myself, where somebody in a wheelchair, for example, will not have the ability to do that. So for them, it gets adjusted for sure.
Yeah.
So just changing tact a bit, like what's your thoughts about where adaptive CrossFit should be? Do you think it should be part of the main stage? Because I mean, obviously CrossFit has kind of made a decision to put it separate. Like what's your thoughts around that?
I think so. CrossFit decided to separate, let's call it the RX athletes, the masters and the juniors, and the adaptive. So they effectively were running 3 separate events. I mean, I haven't had a chat with Dave Castro or the guys at CrossFit about the thought behind it, but I suspect it was to try and give all of them their own sort of stage to perform on, where if they have it all combined, you'll get kind of lost in the whole show, and also the sport obviously was growing. So I think there's pros and cons to both. I thought it was pretty cool, or it would be pretty cool if you could get everybody to compete on the same stage at the same time. I think that would be really, really something amazing to do. And they used to do that, but they didn't have all of the adaptive classes at the CrossFit Games historically. It was only a handful of them. So I suspect that doing it the way they're doing it now is giving the adaptive community a better opportunity to sort of stand on its own 2 feet. And
is it well supported? Like when you went to the games, did you feel like there's a lot of support and it's growing?
It definitely was. It was definitely well supported, and you've got obviously 16 different kinds of adaptive categories multiplied by 2 for males and females. So you have between 280 and 320 athletes that's competing, and all of them, top 10 in the world of their respective sort of classes. So you do get a good caliber of athletes that you can pit against each other and put on a bit of a show. But it'd be great for it to become more mainstream and for it to grow. And I think I see what we do as part of why I do it is to try and grow it. There has to be more athletes with visual impairments that can get involved in the sport, because if I can do it, they can do it.
And do you have other groups, like, because obviously with your impairment, do you have connections with like other people that are in similar kind of situations, and then you're dragging them along to CrossFit, or you're trying to do that sort of thing? Like,
I've tried, but I think my connections are more with some of the guys in the choroideremia community more broadly. And so some of those guys we've managed to get involved in the sport. But in terms of in Australia more broadly, a lot of the guys prefer to try and find an Olympic sport to kick off with and have a go at that, where CrossFit is just, it's not as mainstream as the Olympics, if that makes sense. So I think it'd be great to get more involved.
It's maybe not as mainstream, but it's so accessible to people who have disabilities. Like, every suburb, or you probably only have to drive 10 or 15 minutes at the most to find a box in Australia anyway. And it's just you guys are like role models for people who have disabilities who think that their life is over. Imagine someone like Kevin Oger, who has a spinal cord injury, a thoracic spinal cord injury, and it would be so easy to just give up on life. Yet the CrossFit ecosystem has enabled him to flourish and like motivate so many other people that that you can still be fit and athletic and have a great social life and community, and it's pretty much on your doorstep.
100%. And look, Kevin is an amazing example, somebody that's decided to continue to focus on the sport because it makes him stronger in his chair. I've seen him bench.
It's part of rehab, isn't it? CrossFit can be part of the rehabilitation for 100%. Someone who has an amputation or a neurological injury. It could be integrated into medical systems and rehabilitation.
And they've been doing more. So I think some of the athletes that I've competed to in the BK or below knee division got into CrossFit as part of their rehab because their exercise physiologist recommended it. And yeah, some of those guys have been to the games, have won at the games. And one of them, Rogan Dean, who's an amazing below knee athlete, competed with the elite athletes at this year's Korean Pro. Yeah.
He was amazing. He was
a beast.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. His capacity is greater than just
He's
99% of the population with the below knee amp. Yeah.
And the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, it is really inspiring, and that's why that accessibility of CrossFit is just one of the keys to its ability to achieve that for people broadly.
Absolutely.
But that's massive. Yeah. Any other little hacks that you've can sort of give us, Tom, to improve on our own CrossFit performance?
Yeah, Dave doesn't need any improvement. He's good enough. He just won our local competition.
I do not know what I need to do to break into this. Like I can get to semi-finals, but the leap between getting to semi-finals and getting to the games just seems like it's just enormous.
No, and it's getting more difficult. I think the most important thing is keep showing up, and just consistency pays off with time. I would also say don't rush it. That's probably one of the most important things I've learned is focus. Pick one or two things in a year and focus on it. Don't think that you're going to learn how to do everything in 12 months. Pick the two worst things or the things you suck at the most, focus on them. And then by the time you get to the following year, you realize that those are actually better and some of the other ones are sort of lagged behind. So you can pick two new ones and focus on that.
Okay.
That's the way I've sort of approached it. Be patient. Yeah.
Be patient. I like that. That is actually something that I'm very bad at. Because
and having fun is probably the other important thing. If you stop having fun, then that's when it doesn't become worth it. So you need to constantly continue to have fun. Fun factor is number one.
We always have fun. We always have fun, and that's that's why we want to train at a box. Like I've got enough gear at home to do almost every class at home in my garage, but my gosh, it's just nowhere near the same as rolling up to the box and talking to mates and giving each other crap and competing next to them.
Suffering with them and the ability to sledge them.
Yeah. Who's the 5 a.m. squat club? Is that someone from your CrossFit Noosa, Tom?
Yeah, we've got a 5:15 a.m. crew and then a 6:30 sort of crew. We usually do the 6:30 sort of class. So we'll get there whilst the 5:15 is going, and that's when I'll typically warm up. And then I'll have a look at the scoreboard for the 5:15 and then see if I can perhaps try to improve on some of those scores.
Yeah. So do you know this comment here?
Say again.
Do you know this commenter here? 5 a.m. Squat Club has just put a comment on.
No.
Good morning, team. That you don't know that person?
No, I don't.
I'm not sure why they're saying good morning though. Good morning means they must be somewhere else. It means we've got international. We've got international. Got international players, Dave.
Maybe that's an international guest, or maybe that's someone who you pipped on the podium. Tom is fantastic.
So
that's
do you beat most people in the gym, Tom? Is that what I'm hearing based on looking at the scoreboard?
No, I try to give them a run for their money for sure. We've got some really great athletes in our box, and I just try to continuously improve, which is why I look at the scoreboard. Got to have a go.
The scoreboard's very powerful. And so who's running, just a shout out to CrossFit Noosa, who's running that show now? Because I know Matt Swift used to run it. Matt Swift back in the day.
Yeah, so Matt Swift used to run it, and then Colin and Mamiko McFarlane actually bought it from Matt, and they've been running it for quite a while now. I think at least 10 years. And yeah, really amazing box. If you get the opportunity to get up to Noosa, it is something else. I'm a bit biased, but it is something else. Yeah.
I've trained there a couple of times. There used to be an Irishman, I think, an Irishman or a Scottish fellow that owned it before Matt.
Yes.
I think Matt took it over from that fellow. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was a really nice box, very welcoming. I remember doing a workout there, and it's just everyone high-fiving at the end of the workout and all suffering together. But it was great fun. Are there lots of boxes up on the sunny coast near sort of part of the
There's plenty. Within a 500-meter radius, we have 1, 2, 3, probably 3 official CrossFit boxes, and then another sort of functional sort of fitness spot. Within a very small radius. Yeah, there's a fair few.
Yeah.
And how many members in Noosa?
Ooh, that's a great question. If I was to hazard a guess, I'd probably say around 200 plus would be.
Okay.
I think
that's pretty good, given that you've got another 2 CrossFit gyms in the facility, right?
Yeah. And that's a lot of people in the class too. Like with yourself, trying to navigate your way around 20 people with barbells and kettlebells and stuff.
Absolutely.
Do they have any special equipment for you, or do they give you sort of a bit more space at the gym, or you just got to blend in and fit in with everyone?
I blend in and fit in with everyone, but I will on occasion, if I get the sense the logistics is going to be challenging, I'll try to find a spot where, more so for other people's safety, I won't get in their way, and then I'll sort of stay there. And sometimes it just means I tweak some movements or make some adjustments if there's some gear that's not available. For example,
so that'd be like the 12 days of Christmas when that one comes up, right?
Exactly.
The craziness of that workout.
Running around, or if there's not enough GHDs available, then I'll just find a quiet spot where I can just do something else to get the same stimulus.
Yeah. That's
so cool.
Yeah. That's really good. We've got a member in our gym who's profoundly deaf.
Oh yes.
So it's would that be a category? Would that be a category or not?
We do. We've got deaf we definitely had a deaf athlete in the games this year, but I'm thinking it may have been in one of the neuro categories. So I'm not sure if they've got a specific category for deaf people. Yeah. And when you say profoundly deaf, cochlear implants.
No hearing.
No hearing.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. That's incredible.
He's amazing. He can read your lips. So when the coaches are giving the brief, he understands. And I'd go say, hi, Dan, how you going? What did you get? What was your score? And he'll just go, tell me his score. He usually beats me. But
he's a beast. Amazing. He's a beast. He can he back squats like 200 kilos or something ridiculous. Yeah.
It's super. Convinced the coaches one day to do the workout with no music. Just so like in dead silence, like which is what it would be like for him every time he does a workout. He's like in his own space, but could you imagine just dead silence in the gym doing DT or something? It'd be really weird, right? It'd be hard. It would be harder.
That would be much harder. Bring on the AC/DC, mate.
Yeah.
So are you just I've got to ask you now as well, you get the time limits on the workouts or whatever, or it's an MRAP or whatever. Yeah. Do you just go into your minds and just wait until you hear the thing that says it's finished? Because I'm always looking at the clock going, oh my God, there's still 20 minutes left, or there's still 5 minutes left. So you can't do that. So that could be a good thing. I think maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know.
No.
It's a good thing because you just don't have to worry
Don't
about
worry about it. Just focus on getting through it.
it. Tell you that it's finished. Like, how does it?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, no, they'll tell us when it's done.
because otherwise you just
sure.
keep going, right? You wouldn't have any
Otherwise,
idea.
we'll just keep going. Yeah.
It's just like it just amazes me how you kind of work through that at the time.
No, and if it's,
Are your other senses really
heightened,
tuned in? Like, yeah, are they? I mean, you didn't have a visual impairment as a child. It wasn't until your teens, but you hear about people who have visual blind from a very young age, having incredible hearing and spatial awareness. You know, do you feel? Do you have any of those sort of abilities?
Yeah, it's getting. I want to say it's getting better as the eyesight's getting worse. So certainly, I've been using other sensors to get around. There was actually quite a long time where people didn't realize I was visually impaired because of how I was cheating the system. Because you learn to adapt, you learn to scan, you learn to touch and do those sort of things. It eventually got to a point where I had to start to use a cane. Yeah, to answer your question, definitely there is other senses that are getting heightened, but not as good as some of the guys I used to play goalball with that was completely blind, that can walk with echolocation and those sort of things.
Wow.
They're amazing. Yeah.
That's really
Can you train that, Tom?
I think you can, but I reckon it'll take a fair bit of time to get used to it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm 100% sure you'll be able to learn how to do that, but it'll take a lot of time versus you don't have a choice and you're getting forced into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does the future hold with your vision? Like, I know you said that you participate in research for choroidal.
Yeah, I was in a clinical trial for gene therapy 5 years ago. I decided to not sacrifice an eye, but risk having a procedure done on one of my eyes. So what they did is they essentially made 3 incisions in my right eyeball and then went in and detached the retina and injected a vector, which is a treated virus that's got the corrective gene. And then let the retina soak in it, the retina reattaches itself, and then they stitch your eyeball back together. So that was 5 years ago, and I was part of a program after that where it got monitored every 6 months to see how this is working and whether it is working. I think the good news is that it's definitely shown that it's either stopped or slowed it down quite substantially. So that's an indicator of it working. But it was still not good enough to pass the FDA's benchmark. So it's not getting approved as a form of treatment. What it will do, though, is the data that they've gathered from that can be used to then go away and fine-tune it. And the application, it can only get better. So 20 years ago, there was nothing in that space. And now we're at a stage where we can do things like gene therapy, etc. So I had, again, same philosophy. I figured I should have a crack. I had an opportunity to participate in the trial, and I was fortunate enough to meet their benchmarks, and hopefully it can make a difference for future generations.
Yeah, that's pretty admirable, because it may not have gone right. They would have had to tell you that there's risks of doing this procedure.
You sign your life away.
Your vision.
And there's people that lost their eyesight, for sure. Because it was very high risk.
You can't deliver the viral vector any other way into the choroid. It had to be an invasive surgical procedure.
Yeah. And if there's a way, and it was manual as well. I think the surgeon did it. It's all old school with a hand. Amazing. Yeah, that people can do.
A friend of mine's a a retinal surgeon.
Yep.
So I'll have a bit of a chat with him about this. See what the latest is.
Oh, yeah. If you want me to catch up, I'm happy to.
Yeah. Have you got a retinal surgeon or
Ophthalmologist?
Specialist that you see ophthalmologist regularly?
I had one.
Just
Yes, I had one up until 5 years ago. It's interesting. Associate Professor Chris Layton was looking after me, and also part of the reason why we managed to actually get into the trial. And then for the 5 years I was in the US, I didn't need one because I had all the scientists at the OHSU in Portland looking at my eyes every 6 months and doing all sorts of tests and things.
Okay.
But that came to an end in December last year. So I need to now get back into my routine of, on an annual basis, having all the microperimetry and all sorts of other tests done to continue to monitor what it's doing. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. And there's no other medications, or like, do you take antioxidants, or
no?
Is there any other medication that you use for the condition?
No, the only thing I take is fish oil tablets. But I don't take any antioxidants or anything like that.
Creatine. What about creatine?
Yeah, every morning I take my 5 grams with 5 grams of
creatine. Well, that's something that I could maybe do. I don't do any of that. I just eat lots of meat. I just eat lots of. Anthony and I, we're almost carnivores, so it's just meat. That's our creatine.
Allegedly, the latest research around it is that creatine is also good for stuff like brain health and cognition and those sort of things. So.
Yeah, they found it's incredibly good for dementia.
Yep.
But the protocol's around 15 grams for it to help with neuro kind of issues.
That's quite high.
So it's right, it's right up there, and I think you then have to be careful about like kidneys and whether your kidneys can handle the amount of creatine. So. Yeah, but promising, still promising. Yeah. Lots of promising things. Absolutely. So, is there any more promising kind of things that you're doing with your eyesight, Tom? Like any more procedures or tests or medications or anything that you're trialing for?
No, not. I think at this stage I'll just continue to stay close to the research and see where that all ends up heading. But at this stage, no, there's nothing else on the horizon that would immediately have an impact. More work to be done.
Yeah. Well, it's not stopping you to do anything by the sound of things. So
no.
You're a better CrossFit athlete than me, and you're a better CrossFit athlete than probably Dave by the sound of things. So that's pretty awesome.
Looking at that deadlift, my God. And you've got a 9-to-5 job. You're a full-time practicing accountant.
I work for Ernst & Young as a partner in the audit practice, and as an organisation, they've been amazing. As things have progressed as far as eyesight's concerned, and I've got really good setup in the office and desk, and really amazing people I work with there for sure.
Right. That's pretty cool. So there's hope for us too. We can still maintain our day job, office working, and then go out there and
get to the games. What's stopping you, Dave? What's stopping you, Dave? Stopping you, Dave? You should be motivated now. I want to see you at the games next year.
I've got maybe I've got some sort of disability that I need to.
We should ask your wife. We should ask you if you have what disability you have, Dave.
I don't think they'll have a category for that. I don't think they'll have a category for that one. But that's Tom, a super inspiring chat with you. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Probably, what is it, Wednesday? Did you train pretty hard this morning?
I did. I had a great leg session this morning. I'm pretty sure I'll feel it tomorrow morning. And looking forward to the session tomorrow morning as well. It's going to be fun,
isn't it? Like it's the classes that start for you tomorrow.
It does indeed.
It's your Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't want to keep you up too much later, Tom. thank you so much for coming on the show, my friend. The viewers.
No, I just want to say thanks. I really appreciate it. You guys spinning across Nero when I've got a gap and I'm in Brisbane again. I'll make a plan to pop over.
Yeah, please do. Just send us a message. I'll send you a message on the Instagram as well. I'll give you my mobile phone, and if you do come to Brisbane, please come and say hi and train with us.
And you'll have to run you'll have to run with Dave because he's a lot faster than most.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared to train with Tom as a partner. It's just like put me to shame.
Oh, there's an age-old rule about running. You should only run when you're being chased. I still try to stick to that rule.
Good one. I love it. I love it. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the chat.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Good night, guys.
Talk to you.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. It's another episode in the bag.
What a sensational fellow Tom is.
So interesting.
Bloody motivating.
So interesting to see. Yeah. And like, oh my goodness, like 220 kilo or 214 kilo deadlift, 105 kilo clean. I'm like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Can do muscle ups. It's just, it's pretty inspiring, all those activities that you can do.
It's just something that we have to remember when we're feeling a little bit down or a bit low, or we've got a little bit of an ailment, anything. I can't train today because my knee's hurting, and it just might be a strain or a bloody, Achilles tendonitis or something. These are so. There's always a workaround, and I think that workaround ends up resolving the actual problem quicker than if you said, no, I just won't. I'll just sort of drown in my sorrows, and then the problems last
100%,
longer.
100%. And then you get around that community. CrossFit, it doesn't matter where you go. Like, everyone just talks about the community that they're a part of, right? So that's just a big thing.
Yeah. I can just picture it. I can picture Tom being in the gym and all of the members just supporting him when it's needed, without even wouldn't even have to ask. Just like, okay, I'll be a partner. I'll grab the rope. Let's go running.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's the way the world needs to be. Like, forget about CrossFit. It's just the way the world needs to be. Support each other, help each other, look after each other.
Well, CrossFit, the community in the sport of CrossFit kind of is a parallel for how idealistic the world could be. If it only could parallel what happens in the box.
Exactly.
Health, athleticism, quality of life, community. Geez, it's its own little ecosystem.
It's got everything.
Yeah,
it's got everything.
That's why we love it. That's why we love it. And
we certainly do.
We'll keep doing it. We'll keep talking about it. We'll keep turning up, and finding fantastic people like Tom to talk to.
100%.
2 weeks time. Have we got anyone lined up interesting for 2 weeks? Should we give any clues or not? 2 weeks time.
Are you going to be able to get that person that you talked about, Dave?
We might be going international again. Yeah.
So that means like it'll either be a late night or an early morning or a. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be something.
She'll be giving a talk to the congressman at Capitol Hill, probably right now, and that's why we have to.
In America, delay. Did you say Congress?
Yeah. So she's going to hopefully come onto the show in 2 weeks' time and talk about her experience with CrossFit and CrossFit Health and other.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool.
Other people in the space. So please
that would be good to have a chat. So
support the show. Anyone watching, listening, support the show. Tell people about it. Subscribe to the channel, CrossFit Affiliate Members Podcast.
You too, Tom. You need to subscribe to us and send it to all the CrossFit Noosa people. get it out there.
The link will go. Oh, sorry, the video that we've just recorded, which is a live stream, but that'll go onto the channel. Share it with all your members. Share it with CrossFit Noosa, and get more people involved. We just want to keep talking to people about their stories and experiences with the sport. It's so
100%. But I'm getting really hungry now, Dave. I need to.
All right, mate. We shall sign off and end the stream. Thanks again to Tom. Great chat.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. All right. See you later, viewers.
Bye.